Are you ready for a challenge that will save you money and declutter your home? I'm talking about a no spend month. And before you freak out, hear me out. If you are up for the challenge, this can bring the most amazing results. Hi there, I'm Teresa Elling. Welcome to the Peaceful Home. If you're new here, I am so glad to have you. And I want to take a quick moment just to thank all of my viewers and subscribers. My last video kind of went crazy for me. I am a small channel, really just starting out. Last Friday's video began to climb by the thousands every hour in terms of views. And you guys were so gracious to comment and vote in my poll as to which artwork I should use above my new cabinet. I needed your help because it was a very difficult decision for me. The Currier and Ives prints are classic and I love having them in my home. But this new artwork was just completely different and one large size. Well, overwhelmingly, at least 87% of you voted for the original watercolor in a single large frame. And of course, many of you commented that I needed to make sure to put the Currier and Ives somewhere else in my house, which of course I will do. Here's what it looks like now. I am in agreement with my viewers, and this is what I put up, and I think it looks great. Thank you so much also for those of you that have subscribed and pushed my subscribers to 5,000. That's a huge milestone for me, and I appreciate it so much. Now on to the challenge. If you've never done a no spend month, boy, the results are incredible. I did my first one about 20 years ago. My husband was a new chiropractor, struggling in practice. We were young, just had a couple of kids and no money. And we really wanted new carpet in our bedroom. Well, I decided that I was going to take a month and just trim everything down as far as I could, not spend anything that we didn't have to. And in 1 month, we had enough to recarpet the bedroom. It's a very motivating and powerful feeling to remind yourself that you have control over your budget. Now, of course, you have certain fixed expenses, but when there is discretionary income, we often can become wasteful without even realizing it. Sometimes we spend money and we don't even know where it goes. So one of the things this challenge will do is help you see where you may be spending money unnecessarily. Here are the 5 points of the no spend challenge. Number 1 is kind of an overview. Do not spend any money that you do not absolutely have to. Number 2, eat out of your freezer and pantry. This means you are going to spend very little on groceries. In just a minute, I'm going to show you some footage of the last no spend challenge I did and give you some details of how that went. Number 3, no eating out. Number 4, no thrifting, gasp, no shopping. And I will tell you, this is the hardest one for me because I've gotten to a point where if I finished errands and I have a little extra time, I'm like, oh, I can just pop into the thrift store just for a quick minute. Of course, there's even times when, I might be tempted to emotionally eat and I don't do that, but maybe as a source of comfort, I'm going to do some shopping and go into a thrift store. And there's something about that hit of dopamine that you get when you find a treasure. And it's a lot of fun. But again, this no spend month is really going to make you aware of your tendencies. And number 5, no online purchases. And this is another thing that can get us, maybe it's just a $15 or $20 purchase here or there, but it adds up really quick. Well, it's day 7, and I hope you can ignore the freeze dryer in the background. It's a little loud sometimes. On day 1, I grocery shopped for the week, and I believe I spent $6. I didn't save my receipt. I'm going to save all the rest of them for the rest of the month. But I shopped today, and I spent $26. And I got onions, which are a staple. I feel like that was a great purchase. I needed some extra chicken. It's the one thing I didn't have in the freezer. I had a little bit, but I wanted to triple this recipe so we could have it for lunches. So I bought a little extra. And then as far as some fresh things, I got spinach and a salad pack, avocados, cream cheese, which again for this chicken recipe, I had some, which is what inspired me to make the dish to begin with. Then I ended up getting extra chicken, getting extra cream cheese, and that's what the green onion is for as well. So I don't know if that ended up being a mistake because I could have just made a smaller portion with what I had. It's probably what I should have done, but you know, it's just retraining my brain. It's a different way of thinking. I did pick up just some inexpensive lunch meat. We have just enough bread for like 3 sandwiches for my husband to have this week while he's at work. And I picked up some fresh berries. The one really extravagant item that I feel like I purchased was the avocados. And again, in my mentality, like, oh, I'm making enchiladas this week. Oh, I absolutely should get avocado. But that really is an extravagant item that I did not need. The only reason I got paper plates is because I borrowed some from my daughter and I need to repay her. So $26 isn't bad for week 2. We'll see how I do next week. Here are the results of that month, and obviously $77 for the whole month is amazing. Now, one of my personal things is picking up drinks out. We didn't do food out, but sometimes drinks are tricky. So I had to be very intentional to make sure that I made a drink at home and took it with me when I ran errands. The trip to Costco was a little challenging because these beautiful fall pillows were there at an amazing price and I didn't want to miss out. And if I waited until the next month, they would be gone. Now, I also happened to see that they had back in stock my favorite brand of undergarments. So don't laugh at me, but I absolutely love these. And I just went to grab them and put them in my cart. But I realized that I could wait until next month. Then I found that my favorite socks were on coupon. Now, they're not going to be $2 off next month. But again, I was committed to sticking to the plan. So I put them back. Now, a couple of the questions I will ask myself if I'm wondering if I can spend this, is this absolutely necessary? Can I go one more day without this item? Can I go one more week without this item? So often we tell ourselves, I need this, I need it now, and we actually don't need it at all, or we don't need it for a while yet. The point of this month is not only to spend less, but also to delay purchases. One thing you need to do is look at your calendar and discuss this as a family. Now, I am actually planning a no spend month for February, and I invite you to join me. I always pair this with another goal, which I'm going to talk about in just a sec. But for the month of February, I have 2 things that are coming up. One is a thrifting trip planned with a friend for her birthday. So I am going to be very selective about putting some money aside, probably not as much as maybe I normally would do, but something because this is for my friend's birthday. Another thing on my calendar is a celebration of life that I need to go to. And I'm going to have to travel for that. So I need to make some allowances for travel expenses, eating out, and possibly a hotel overnight. And so those things you decide ahead of time. Some things can't be avoided. And so you make allowances for those, and then you really watch your spending everywhere else. I like to use a no spend month in conjunction with a decluttering month. Because there's something about this. There's a synergy that happens when you're not shopping, you're not bringing new things in, and your focus is on getting things out. So it is a great time to declutter. I have a video that talks about how I got rid of 1,000 items in my home. I will post that below. I have a couple of decluttering videos that may be really helpful if this is kind of new for you or you just want some inspiration in the month of February. With the 1,000 items, I went room by room and I kept track. Another option is to do a box a day. Take a box, go around, fill it up, and put it in your car. And if you do that all throughout the month, not only are you going to get rid of junk, but you can contribute to a local charity. And at the end, you will have a nice wad of cash and you get to decide what to do with that. If you're new to this, you might want to consider just doing it for 2 weeks. But February is the shortest month of the year, so it's a great time to try for a whole month. My husband and I are very close to paying off our car 2 years early. And so I think what I earn in February is going to go towards that. I encourage you to look me up on Instagram and Facebook if you want to stay connected during this month. I would love to see your progress. If you are donating things, if you see that the cash is adding up, post it in your story and tag me. Now, I'm choosing to pair my no spend month with a decluttering challenge, but you could choose a different goal. The point is you are stopping something in order to focus on something else. So you can do your no spend month and maybe decide that you are going to start working out. And so all the time that you would spend shopping or perusing Amazon can be spent on developing new habits and doing research in regards to your workouts. So it's really up to you to choose any goals that you would like for this month. Well, are you up for a challenge? I'm so excited about this. I hope that you will jump in and pick up this challenge yourself. Comment below if you're in and tell me what you might be pairing your no spend month with. Are you going to do a decluttering challenge or something else? I would love it if you would consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. Have a great day. To actually work on...
Hello, Abby.
Oh, hi, buddy.
Because it was so sturdy. But yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah. It's the best interruption.